Welcome back, everyone. This is Arafellen playing Magical Bringer Korona the movie. Last time, after Korona spent some time reading, she was invited to stay in the Demon Realm by Noel. And so she spent a while talking things over with people, which went fairly well until she ran into Belith. And Belith indicates that Pleia, Subaru, she's in her Pleia form right now, is in a mood and wants to see Korona at the castle gates. And it's pretty obvious where this is headed. Especially with this intro. Yeah, we have a lot of tension in the air.
Could we talk this out?
We could, but there's no point.
Hey, isn't it the same thing? And is it true you're going to give me amnesia?
Apparently Bella-chan embellished. However, I cannot say with certainty that it won't turn out that way.
Super-chan,
Could we move away from the castle? Here, someone might interfere. And that's yet more reason to believe that, yes, we are headed for a fight. Especially since we're up in the sky now. Pleia likes fighting in the sky. This should be far enough.
Super-chan, would you hear me out?
I don't think that's necessary. It is not as though I object to your living in the demon realm, after all. I have no intention of condemning whatever sort of relationship you might have with the demon lord.
Then why?
I was also invited by Bella-chan to live with her in the demon realm. It means letting go of humanity. Funny, isn't it, Senpai? It seems that one or the other of us, or possibly both, will not be human much longer. I want to win against you while we're both still human. I've been envisioning this moment, even here in the demon realm. The moment when I fight you. Ever since we met as magical girls, I've been trying to catch up to you. You won't get away from me now. I refuse to let you.
Tenacity. It was what drove Super-chan. That's how she's always been. Even being ragged, she still gets back up for another challenge.
Please ready your sword, Senpai. I asked you to ready your sword.
I could say I'm sick of it, or that this will be the last time, but even if I did, she wouldn't listen to me. Why? Why is she so desperate to win? Fine. If that's what will satisfy you, I'll take you on as many times as you want.
There's no need to hold back. I'll be going all out, Senpai.
No hard feelings, Super-chan.
And so, we're fighting Pleia again for the first time since Act 1. Considering the difficulty has been ramping up and the combatants have been getting stronger even aside from that, she's going to be considerably harder this time. Probably not quite as bad as Beastrom, but perhaps more frustrating, especially with his speed. As before, she is very fast, twice as fast as a normal enemy, in the initiative rounds, which means she'll be attacking often. We'll be seeing specials pretty often because she's attacking often. And she does get her second special attack in this battle, which has not been seen since the first game. Before we saw Thunder Discharge, this time we may also see Voltic Blade, which, honestly, at this difficulty, is probably easier to guard against. Which I'll explain more when that comes up, but Thunder Discharge doesn't have any weird tricks, but it's a lot of hits very close together. You need to be able to react quickly and accurately, as we're about to see here, because this is Thunder Discharge. Wrath of the Heavens, come forth! Dengeki Hosha, Thunder Discharge. Very nice lightning effects. This is... Yeah, I really messed that up. The problem I have with that one is as soon as I make one mistake, it throws me off with the rest of it, and I find it's very hard to recover. And of course, being Pleia, she'll often get 2 turns in a row, which just makes this drag on even longer. Okay. As you'll notice with the difficulty ramping up, the chips in attack and guard rounds are getting faster. Sometimes significantly so. Not as bad as Thunder Discharge, but it can be kind of tricky to block everything. And of course, with things moving faster, it's also harder to get criticals because those are high precision hits. Okay, this is just a normal attack from her. And yes, enemies still randomly get enter attacks. As usual, make sure to guard those because they hurt a lot. That Pleia is going to get another round throw. This could be another Thunder Discharge, or no, this time it's Voltic Blade. So I'll discuss those quotes in a moment. "O lightning gathered in my hands, become now a sword to rend darkness." Also, I had some trouble with that line. I noticed when I was doing my practice run-through that I kind of accidentally had the text going out of the text box, and with this engine, that makes the game crash. As I've mentioned, it sometimes feels like it's held together with duct tape and Silly Buddy. So I had to adjust the text box and enlarge it to make everything fit, because I was not going to be able to shrink the text down to make it all fit without enlarging the text box. There just wasn't enough to cut back on. Fortunately, it is fairly simple to adjust text box sizes if you know where to look and how to do it, so that all came through just fine. Walk, and then I'll discuss the quotes. Okay, "Man is no more than a reed, the weakest in nature," is a quote from Blaise Pascal. Get these criticals. And she gets another special. Anyway, the quote continues with, "But he is a thinking reed." The idea of this being that humankind compared to a lot of animals is not especially strong, not especially fast, not especially skilled in any specialized way. However, being able to think and reason and innovate, it's a huge advantage, and it perfectly fits Pleia's theme because Pleia's powers are derived from technology. Her lightning manipulation and all that is completely based on nanotechnology. So considering her source of power is human ingenuity, it's a very appropriate quote for her. Anyway, what that special attack does, as you saw there, it can have one or both of two different effects. The one that you saw there is something called reverse. So what that does is some of the chips, when they get a fixed distance from the target point, will jump to the other side and then approach in the opposite direction from that way. It actually has very little effect on the attack if you're not taken by surprise, because it doesn't affect the direction, it doesn't affect the timing at all. It just, the chip starts on one side, jumps over to the other side, and just ends up getting there at the same time regardless. So, as I mentioned, it honestly is not that difficult to block at this difficulty level. With medium difficulties, which are what we are at between, from 30 to 79, we'll get reverse effect by itself, which gives us this result. At low magical girl levels, difficulty score underneath 30, we'll get something else called fake without reverse. Fake we saw some of in Beast Crom's Brionac attack. That's the thing where a chip starts out pointing in one direction, then changes its orientation. So you'll have lefts changing to downs, or right changing to left, or up changing to right. And that's completely unpredictable. So I find that it is more trouble than the reverse effect, oddly enough, even though it initially is at lower difficulties. There we go. Yeah, when you get that right, it feels very good, but when you get it wrong, oh boy. In any case, Voltic Blade. When your difficulty score is at least 80 out of a maximum of the 100 that it can get to, you get both reverse and fake, which means Your chips will be changing direction and also jumping to the other side, potentially. Some will do one or the other, some will do both. So you really need to pay attention to what they're doing to be able to compensate for that. Yeah, this was as high as it is. They're getting pretty closely spaced, so you... Yeah, that's always just one thing over and over again, but with the difficulty getting higher, they're getting increasingly close together, so you need to pretty well mash the key. In any case... wrong button. I hit down instead of up. Yeah, difficulty score at this point, even if you do every battle to this point perfectly, and do not have the helper for Hyperion, which means more potential, the most you can have coming into this battle is 68. So normally you'll be getting the middle difficulty for Voltic Blade. This gives up to 8, so you could potentially be in the mid-70s after this. Okay. There. I think I've gotten in the right headspace to handle that. I'm not sure if I should hold out for level 3 or just do quick bursts and do specials, because again, Pleia hits pretty hard, but she doesn't have much defense. So yeah, let's do another Korona Desperado, and stay at level 1 for the chance of getting another one. So honestly, I think by the time I get to level 3, she'd be pretty much finished off anyway. So throw in an extra special turn, whittle her health down a little more. That should save on a few of her attack rounds. She has her pained expression now. She'll probably get 2 turns before my next one, though. Well, maybe not. She's fast, but I'm not quite sure she's quite that fast. Yeah. Yeah, like the Beastcrown fight, I find that the worst part of fighting Pleia is her specials. But her specials aren't quite as bad as Brionac. If only because Brionac is, in a sense, both her specials thrown together with all the tricks and some extra. Okay, now she's going to get 2 turns in a row. There's no possible way I can fill that up before hers refills. Yeah, also, I don't remember this game mentioning it, but the Pleiades system, which is her nanotechnology magical girl thing, is contained in the headband she wears. So, that's why she's wearing the headband. That's where her power comes from, basically. Here's another Delanoid shard. Weird, I'm not sure if she's weighted against Voltic Blade or if I'm just getting unlucky. Yeah. That did not go as well, but I should still be fine to win this without too much trouble. Okay, just barely beat her out in speed there. This might get me to level 2. If it does, I'll just quick burst and hope that's enough to finish her out. Here, take that. I'll preempt her preemptive. Hit enter to spit the special effects. And down, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that did it. Yeah, Pleia is fast, but she's not particularly durable. I still can't catch you. And that is victory. Yeah, we're ending on one of the flourishes in the music. It was pretty nice. Ugh.
Super-chan!
Please stay back. I will return on my own.
Super-chan flew off unsteadily in the direction of the castle. How many times now have I seen her slinking off in frustration? I always win. The Black Demon Sword has power overwhelming. I defeated countless opponents to this point for no other reason but that. I'm not particularly good at either academics or athletics. I was always the loser in life until I gained the Demon Sword's power. So I understand. Losing is painful. That feeling with no escape. Sorry, Subaru-chan. Phew. I plopped down in a nook in the corridor and stared blankly at the courtyard. I won against Subaru-chan, and so I feel conflicted. Maybe losing would have been better. But if I lost on purpose, that would just hurt her even more. There's just too much going on. I'm exhausted.
Korona,
Oh, Noel-chan.
may I take this seat?
Sure. The small demon lord sat beside me. Gloomily hunched over as I am, her gaze is on a level with mine. I wonder why. Right now it's Noel-chan who looks like she's the bigger one.
Quite godly did you have at it.
Hehehe.
My apologies, I did not mean to cause thee such worry. And yet, Korona, human life is fleeting. When I grow to the point thou hast, belike wilt have passed on by then. I was afraid. I was loath to release thee, the first one I could ever call friend.
Noel-chan.
Such a curious thing it is. In the 100 years ere I met thee, the emptiness born of being alone, the dread born of solitude, never had I felt such things.
The lifespan of a pure-blood demon never comes to an end. I recall Asira saying so. Noel-chan in the future has to keep living as a demon lord for hundreds, even thousands of years, until her magical power fades and she enters her eternal slumber, enduring her solitude as a ruler. Yes, to a demon, human life is short. But for me, for the Black Demon Sword, it would be possible to extend it. I could live as long as the lonely demon lord, always by her side to offer her my hand. I could... Noel-chan.
Hmm?
Noel-chan!
Yes?
Well, I want...
And something happens. If you listen closely, there's some rather creepy ambient noises in the background now.
Huh? A sudden buzzing, and space warps. I stand up too, pulled to my feet by Noel-chan. What's going on?
Who art thou?
Huh?
What?
Noel-chan, is someone there?
Thou wouldst dare. Korona.
Noel-chan, what's wrong? What's going on? Whoa, that sure was bright. Jeez, what was that? The light subsided and the buzzing and spatial distortion vanished too. I look around, rubbing my eyes. Nothing's happened to me. The garden doesn't look any different either. But fallen at my feet, the body of the small demon lord lay collapsed, unmoving on the ground. Noel-chan!
And that is how Act 4 ends. With something of a cliffhanger. What has happened? What are we going to do about it? And what are the implications? This has been Arafellan playing Magical Bringer Korona, and if you want to find out what happens next, come back next time. I hope to see you then.